an idea, completely ordinary and also miraculous, by virtue of being next to one another. To me, it means relationships between objects, ideas, associations, and emotions. As they gather and settle into relationships, into meaning, each of us makes stories out of them, makes stories out of our lives. They anchor us to each other, at best. Portals and water, reflection, reflecting deep space and pretend space, and structures that come together but don't exactly make sense, but somehow still work. I've been daydreaming, about water and quiet places, and that underwater swimming feature in Super Mario 64. Our capacity to connect disparate things, to imagine, is a skill which guides us through all that stuff of life. Grief, love, death, our past, our future, how we find ourselves here, why ostriches have wings. Through my third rewatch of seasons 1 through 8 of House, to the memory of the little boy who stole my much-loved tiny beanie frog by convincing me I would be the one in trouble if I didn't hand it over. Through the comfort of communal singing at funerals, to arguing with the dead who refuse to argue back. Life is confusing, but we want to understand it. Maybe storytelling and meaning making is just that. A skill we had to learn to hold it all together. Much in the way that we find each other in happenstance, by virtue of being next to one another, so stories unfold in 100 billion million small ways. Much in the way we are each unlikely. Much in the way that we each gain meaning from those around us. So do these characters of marks, shapes, feelings that bind themselves together. How does an image change with just a small shift in tone, or with a single line? How does it lead and point and complicate? I'm still so interested in the answers, and the possibilities of how things intersect, how stories are suggested, and how we each connect with them differently. The linear progression through the steps of collagraph, silkscreen, or relief provides the container to push against. I'm always looking for how I can pull my interests into print and see how they are changed. Pure color, sci-fi, nonlinear storytelling, feelings, relationships, tension, what it means to be a person. Through all the learning and combining, I open up space for more parts of myself, within the space of the plate mark or edges of the paper. Joan O'Donoghue said, in a conversation from On Being, "Your identity is not equivalent to your biography. There is a place in you that has never been wounded, where there is a seamlessness in you, and where there is a confidence and tranquility in you. The intention of prayer and spirituality and love is now and again to visit that inner kind of sanctuary." I would add art to that list. Maybe a prayer is just being open to things, to noticing more, to asking a question and patiently and openly waiting for an answer, whatever form it may take. Writing and making for myself, I allow my brain to do the sifting it needs. Over long periods of time, snatching from one topic to another, one interest thinly connected to another. The relationships are key. Do these things have something in common? Do they have a conversation? Do they share something? What will it mean? Can it hold more openly than a story I would have crafted knowing how it would end? Because it doesn't come naturally, structure is something I'm always poking at. Repetition is my friend now. Stretching and breaking repetitions in structure. Taking the idea or impulse and seeing all the ways it can fit into different molds, and how each fit shifts our relationship to it. So I find new spaciousness in iterations, in rhythms and what-ifs, in color, in shape, in marks, in the simplest of structures to edit, in the hand. I'm practicing being present and content, knowing that one day I'll move to focus on something else, and all these things will weave together, eventually, in ways I don't need to think about now. I just need to trust. I say it like a prayer, the shape of things.